So let's take some questions, and this is probably going to mess up my screen, just warning in advance. There. Okay. Uh, let's see. Now you can see how messy my screen is. Um, uh, thank you. Someone said, I appreciate that, Peter. Okay. There may be more renters, but will they be able to pay fair rent? Um, it depends, right? What we're seeing is those we're just seeing a shift. Really, that's what we're seeing. If you listen and pay attention to our daily webinars, because believe me, I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible while also being biased because the fact of the matter is I could see this coming. I'm not surprised at all. I'm definitely surprised at how it entered into this world, but I'm not surprised that we're kind of facing the situation that we're in. So there is we've already been focused on affordable, but affordable in areas that have job diversification and the kind of job diversification that can withstand a recession. So like I said, in Cleveland, we already had our team there only buying single family homes that were in the affordable range near the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Clinic is a world-class hospital. It was rated like #2 in the world or something like that. It is on the front line of finding the cure, not just for this, but for lots of things because we have an aging population. So we already knew that we wanted to be buying homes and residential properties near medical hubs that are on the cutting edge. And so sure enough, what's happening in Cleveland with the homes that we targeted is that they're nurses and they're doctors that live in those homes. So we're not really seeing the issues that maybe other areas are seeing. I have a property there and he's been paying for 5 years. He's in the medical industry there. I didn't realize that in Birmingham, they also have a huge medical industry and school, a university for medical. And I was shocked to see that they are also having, people are working. There are still a lot of people working who pay rent. Is you just have to pick the right asset near the right jobs. That's the key. That's always the key. Following the jobs and the jobs that are recession proof and buying affordable properties nearby. And that has been what we've done, and it seems to be playing out the way we expected. Same with Indianapolis. Like I said, they targeted areas that could withstand a recession because of their affordability and their proximity to employers of the future. But definitely, if if you bought a property in Vegas, I think it's going to be tough there. I think it's going to be really tough. If you bought a property in Washington State, I think it could be tough there simply because we weren't identifying that as a good market for us anyway, because there wasn't good cash flow and it was already pretty inflated in pricing. So that just wasn't on our radar, and that area could have a difficult time. Denver, great city, but prices were high and cash flow was low. It just, again, wasn't on our radar. Florida has been on our radar because we knew that was a place that a lot of people are going to retire. Sure enough, we knew that a lot of people from New York were moving, just like President Trump, moving to Florida to escape taxes. And in retirement years, you love to be in a place that has low state income tax, that's affordable, that has a lot of fun outdoor activities. So we've been very bullish on Florida for that reason. Now, 10 years ago, Florida was more of a bubble because people were just buying properties there, pure speculation and just buying houses. But that's not the case. The dynamics, the demographics are different now, very different. So you just have to be very, very targeted on where you buy. Like I said, during the Great Recession, we bought in Texas, and those properties went up in value and rents went up in value during the Great Recession. Not all of Texas did and not all of Dallas did, but where we bought did because of the dynamics we were looking at. The path of progress, where the city is investing in itself, where there's new roads, new infrastructure, that's going to be something to pay attention to too, where the next infrastructure money goes, because that'll be the next stimulus that the president wants to invest in infrastructure in the US. So we need to follow where that money is going. How will renters be able to pay their rent if so many people are unemployed? Do you think unemployment will decrease once this passes, or do you think it will remain high? Um, it just kind of depends on the way it recovers, VU or L-shaped recovery. So it's a little too soon to tell. But based on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, it could be more of a V, kind of between a V and a U at this point. But a lot of large firms are expecting that it will be more of a V-shaped recovery. So if that's the case, and you already hear the president saying he's ready to open up parts of the country, and already there's businesses that are booming, they just changed the way they do business, but they're still doing business. We could see that people just get back to work. Not everyone, though. Not everyone, which is why if you have that concern, you may be interested in potentially looking at Section 8 properties. Like in Chicago, we're going to be presenting Baltimore as an option, because Section 8 properties, basically it's government paid housing vouchers. So it's different where somebody who's unemployed or having difficulty finding a job and unable to pay their housing costs, they get a voucher. They get to pick where they live, but they get to use that voucher to help pay for it. So they can be in any neighborhood and use that voucher to supplement their income. So I would, if you're concerned about people being able to pay their rent, I would definitely look at Section 8 properties as an option. Somebody said he believes values will stay steady. I think values will stay steady in the affordable housing range because there's just not been enough of it. Builders can't build it. They're definitely not building it now. And so there's even less inventory, but more people needing the affordable housing. So I do actually think values will stay stable, if not increase in the affordable range, but the higher end was already on a decline, and I think that's going to continue. So there could be value in the higher end at some point if you've got the money to buy it. Someone said, thanks for doing the webinar. Do you think it's wise to do a cash out refinance? Yeah, I do. If you can get a cash out refinance, I always have felt that it's better to have cash in hand than tied up in a property for so many reasons. If you need the cash, get it while you can and have it stored somewhere safe, have it in different banks and so forth, because you've got low interest rates. You might be able to take cash out of your house and then have reserves, or be able to take advantage of deals that you're going to see over the next couple of months. So I'm a big fan of cash out, and especially at today's interest rates, if you can get the loan, do it, and have those reserves ready. There's going to be opportunity. Oh, all my tenants paid. Awesome. Somebody said they can't hear. I'm so sorry. I think it's not me. I hope you can hear. Aw, thank you. Someone said I look younger than a baby boomer. I'm the youngest of the baby boomers, so thank you. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going through these questions because some of them I already answered. Las Vegas is not laying off any sworn-in officers. Support services are being affected, animal control, sewing services, etc. We are still protected. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Do you feel the prices will drop soon within the next 2 or 3 months? Real estate is a very slow-moving vehicle. So if we have a V recovery, I don't think you're really going to see much difference. There will always be opportunity. And for us at RealWealth, we have teams across the country who specialize in finding those opportunities and bringing them to our members. So if there are more foreclosures or an uptick, we have the teams out there to find you those deals. So be sure to plug in if you're busy and you got your own thing going, you don't have time to run around trying to find the opportunities, because I don't think they'll be as abundant as they have been in the past. It's going to still take work to find them. And we have the teams across the country that specialize in that. So, plug in, talk to them, find out. So there will be more opportunity, but in the markets that we're focused on, in the growing markets, they'll be hard to find. I do think again that the high end, like California, I do think prices will come down in certain areas, but maybe not in Riverside or the areas that were already affordable. But San Francisco and LA, it could get hit. But I thought that already. So it could be a great time to buy a primary residence in those areas, you know, if you start to see prices soften. Some news mentioned that there will be a single family housing crisis because nobody will be able to buy them and therefore the price will drop with a lot of houses in the market. That's what people are hoping. People always want to get a bargain, so they're hoping for home prices to drop. Again, if this whole thing takes longer and we don't have a recovery and we have to stay at home for a year, very unlikely. Yeah, that would be the case. But there's already talk of opening up the economy, and a lot of states want that. So I think there's talk with the governors and certainly with the president of how to do it. It doesn't look like everybody wears a mask. Does it look like wherever you work, you're 6 feet apart? There's going to be a way to do this. We can't not, we can't sit at home forever. That will drive people insane. There has to be a way. So we're going to probably copy what China did, what South Korea did. I'm guessing we're going to be required to wear masks, and we're going to get back out. We should have been wearing masks from day one. Then we probably could have gone out sooner, but I think that was just the problem, is we didn't have any. So as soon as we have the masks, I think that's going to be the solution, because it's not so much about, from everything I've read, if you wear a mask, it's not so much that you're protected because it can technically enter, but if other people wear the mask, they're protecting the germ doesn't get out. So the more that everybody wears masks, so it shouldn't just be someone like me. I have asthma, so I've been wearing a mask the whole time, not now, but when I go out. But if everyone wears it, then you're really eliminating it. It helps a lot. So I think that is what they're going to do. We're just gonna all have to get used to seeing each other with masks on. So hopefully someone will come up with a really cute mask that everybody wants to wear. All right. I bought a property in West Palm Beach. Awesome. I think that area is going to come back. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, what a great place to retire. You can buy a house for in the $150,000 to $250,000 range and warm weather, no state income tax. We're seeing a lot of New Yorkers realizing maybe they don't want to be in a big city anymore. All right. What happens if my new construction home that will be ready in 4 months, if values go down, they will have to drop? It depends on what you're buying. If you're buying through our network, I highly doubt values will go down. I mean, only time will tell, but they were already in the affordable range, and it's almost impossible to build at that price point. So there is a massive demand for people who want to rent a new property. They just want clean, new. I don't really see values dropping, but again, anything can happen. I have a duplex in Austin, only 6 months in, looking to wash, rinse, and repeat now, weighing the option of taking forbearance, but concerned how it would impact my next purchase. Only do a forbearance if you need to do a forbearance. If you're really struggling, don't do it just because you can. When this information first came out, it was like, oh, forbearance for everyone, yay! But I was ready to do it, even though we're collecting rents, because it sounded like it was just like no big deal. But what we're finding out is that it is more of a big deal than we thought. So don't do a forbearance unless you are absolutely struggling. Before ever buying any property, you should always have 6 to 12 months reserves anyway. And this is one of those times where that should be available. As a business owner, an owner of real estate, that makes you a business owner, you must have reserves. That's why it's amazing to me that businesses could go out of business in just a month. They should have had reserves, that's a known thing. So if you're going to buy property, always have 6 months reserves. This is one of those times that you would tap into those reserves. And on the properties that we promote, I mean, we're talking about, like I said, your mortgage payment might be $600 to $900 a month. So $5,000 in reserves, $5,000 to $10,000 would get you through this. So then you don't need to do the forbearance. But if you do it, it's there for you. But you probably will have a hard time, in my opinion. I'm guessing, this is what we're hearing. It might be difficult for you to qualify for a new loan. Now they're saying that's not true, but my guess is it will play out that way. So only do it if you need it. Oh, you're welcome. Do I think rents will drop significantly? It'll just depend. I think they will in areas where they were overpriced, and where there's more vacancy. So what I heard is that places like Dallas had really high-end, there's so many high-end units coming online. And we talked about it on the Dallas webinar. So many new multifamily A-class properties coming into certain areas. And now people can't even use the amenities. Now that could change, but the mentality might not change, where people maybe don't want to be so crowded in. So I think certain areas will have a surplus of the high end, whether it's rental or for sale real estate, and that we could see prices go down. But in the affordable, I just don't see it. I just don't see rents going down or prices going down.